in those days too.
Now, and by the time you would have started with the CBC, the CBC House orchestras were pretty much all done, I think, except for Vancouver was still around.
Well, when I started at CBC, there were still most of them.
Oh, were they? Mm-hmm.
And they were closing them down one by one.
Mm-hmm.
But CBC Toronto was still, or CBC Toronto Orchestra was still going at that when I started at CBC. By the time I had gone to radio, it had been shut down. And that actually, when they shut that down, they amalgamated that with the Toronto Symphony. And I think that was actually a turning point for the Toronto Symphony as well. It became a more viable orchestra and bigger size. But I can remember when I was still in television, I can remember Igor Stravinsky down in the studios, because there was one broadcast where we were recording in Kinescope, recording the session with Igor Stravinsky conducting Pulcinella with the smaller ensemble, and I had to copy endless copies of that. It was great. I knew that piece inside out after a while. But by the time I got to radio, that was all gone.
Now, he also did some really important recordings of choral works with Elmer's people, right?
That's right.
Elmer Eisler.
That's right. Yeah, the Symphony of Psalms is a big one. Yeah. Yeah, apparently Stravinsky really had warm feelings about Toronto. He loved the CBC orchestra, and he got along well with the choir.
Was Robert Kraft with him in those years?
I think it was at the very end of that association too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm told that Stravinsky was not actually a very good conductor. He obviously knew how the music went, but do you have any recollections of that?
They didn't. Let me just say they didn't have very many close-ups of Stravinsky when he was conducting.
But the product. I mean, they played well for him.
Oh yeah, because he knew how to get the feeling across. He didn't have to conduct it. It was almost like osmosis. Just being there, and the orchestra, the players could pick up exactly what he wanted.
Did you have occasion to actually interact with him directly in any way?
No. He was at the other end of a television monitor.
Mm-hmm. You never met him or so forth?
No.
Yeah.
No, it was a couple of disappointments. I never had it directly with him, and also the summer where I was assigned to do the Toronto Symphony was the summer that Carl Anserl died. And I love Carl Anserl. We used to go down to Ontario Place during the summer. His performance with the orchestra of the Slavonic dances was always just hair-raising. And I was so disappointed that when I finally got to go to the Toronto Symphony, that Carl Anserl died that summer. So I missed out on that.